بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله الأمين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We move on to another chapter of the book which deals with the forbidden types of transactions. And the first hadith here is the hadith narrated by Abu Sa'id Al-Khudri, may Allah be pleased with him. He said that the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam forbade the selling of al-munabadha. And we will explain this inshallah. The selling of al-munabadha. And that is to sell one's garment by casting it to the buyer, not allowing him to examine or see it. Similarly, he forbade the selling by mulamasa. And al-mulamasa is to buy a garment, for example, by merely touching it without looking at it. So we have two types of forbidden transactions. One of them is al-munabadha, and it's originated from the Arabic word nabadha. And to throw something, it's called a nab, something that he threw it. And this kind of transaction was found before Islam. What would it be? You'll find people on the street. Usually people sell on the street. And those who go to the streets, it's not like nowadays supermarkets and malls and fancy places. The real market is where you go and you have trust in Allah Azza wa Jal and say Bismillah. Maybe I will gain money, maybe I will lose money. Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, may Allah be pleased with him. You know the companion, one of the 10 heavenly bound. Went to Medina, migrated from Mecca to Medina. How much did he have? Nothing. Sa'd ibn Rabi', may Allah be pleased with him. When the Prophet made them brothers, told him, half of my money is yours. I'm the richest man in Medina. If I were in his place, I would say, thank you, Jazakallah khair. Abdul Rahman did not do this. What did he do? May Allah bless your money. Show me the market. So he went to the market from scratch, buying on credit. Buying from this man, going to this man and selling, making a profit, then going again and again, and then paying his credit. Now he is dealing on his own capital. And just before you know it, he is one of the richest men in Medina. Dealing in riba? No. Dealing in haram, selling intoxicants, everything is halal. If you work halal with Allah Azza wa Jal, if you're truthful and you do not conceal the defects, Allah will bless, as in the previous hadith. Allah will bless your transactions. So the markets were like this. You see something, you buy it, and you sell it to someone else. Maybe you make profit, maybe you lose a little bit, you gain a little bit. It's all in the hands of Allah. Therefore, a lot of the people may feel inclined to go and make money and gamble. And part of the gamble was this type of sales. You go to a man with lots of clothes and he says, listen, you see? He says, wow, nice silk, this is cotton, this is polyester, this is very nice material. He says, listen, I will throw something to you. But if you touch it, this is mulamasa. If you touch it, then it's yours. If you agree on buying it for 10 euros, whatever I throw to you, this is yours, once you agree. So al-munabadha is to agree to whatever he's going to throw to you of a specific price. Do you know what he's going to throw to you? No. I don't know if he's going to throw to me a piece of cloth or a piece of cannabis or a piece of an old shoe that is worth nothing. But we agreed. And this is haram. Why? Because it is ambiguous. There is what's known in Arabic al-gharar. Al-gharar means that you will be fooled. Maybe you win, maybe you lose. And that is why the same concept of gambling, the same concept of lottery. Do you have lottery here? You buy one ticket for 10 rupees. You may become the slum dog millionaire. Wow, I'm rich. And you may keep on buying and losing, buying and losing. He said, Sheikh, I agree. No problem. So yes, agreement is not approval of that this is halal. So by agreeing to pay so much when he throws something to you, this is an invalid transaction. It's void, even if you both agree. Mulamasa is the same, but in this case, you just simply put your hand on something. The minute you touch it, it's yours. And sometimes you go into shops and they say, do not touch. If you touch, khalas. This is a consent that you'll buy it. So this is not permissible in Islam, because also touching it can be done at night. Maybe he tells you, go to this showroom, no lights, you just touch. And you think, oh, this is very soft. It must be silk. If I buy it for 10 euros, I'm making a profit. And you buy it, you come out, you find that it has stains that cannot be removed, or it is torn, or there is a defect that makes it cost nothing. And this kind of transaction is to remove the ambiguity. There are types of transactions that are also haram. It's known in Islam as the throwing of the stone. So it's the same concept. A lot of things, you throw the stone, and whatever the stone hits and falls on, I'll give it to you for $10. Okay, and you throw it. This is not permissible. This is haram. Similarly, in some fun fairs, you know the fun fairs? You go and there is a machine. You pay, for example, 5, 10 rupees, and you play with the machine. If you catch a doll, this is yours. Maybe you catch something that is worth 1 rupee. Maybe you catch something that is worth 100 rupees. It is called gambling. This is gharar. Ambiguity is in there. It's not permissible. And you go on and on in this type of buying what is not identified. If you remember the 7 conditions for the transaction to be correct, one of them is that you see it or at least can describe it. Now here it is something that is unknown. When I sell you what's in the belly of a pregnant sheep, it can be twins, it can be dead, it can be male, it can be female. Now this is not certain. You don't have the certainty in it, and therefore such a transaction would not be acceptable. Now, what about if we have something that is not present? A lot of you ask about this question. What about if I'm buying something that is not present in the office or in the shop or in the factory? This depends. If I'm buying something that is manufactured and found somewhere else and the seller is not owning it, this is not permissible. You cannot sell something you do not own. So I cannot come to you and tell you, I wish I can buy a red Mazda, model of 1995, for example. And he said, yeah, I can sell it to you for 10,000. I said, okay, I'll buy it. And you know, and I know that our neighbor has a car and he wants to sell it. This kind of selling is not permissible because you're selling something you do not own. So if this is the case, this is forbidden. But if you're selling something in the future that is to be manufactured, you're going to manufacture it, or you're going to import it, and you know the price of it. So you're selling it in the future, not now. You're getting the money, and I will get you the thing. This is permissible, providing that it can be thoroughly and specifically described. So you have to exactly say, I will sell you 10 kilograms of dates of this maker, of this type, and I will deliver it on this specific date. Everything has to be mentioned and specified, not generally speaking, yes, I will sell you 10 kilograms of dates. What kind of dates? Maybe you're thinking of the best kind, and I'm thinking of the lowest kind. This is not permissible. It has to be described in a very thorough manner. And all of these transactions, you will find that Allah forbade these transactions either because there is ambiguity in it, no specification, or because there is dhulm, there is transgression, or because there is riba, usury. And we will come to, inshallah, to describe usury and the other types in detail. These are the three reasons why usually transactions are forbidden. If you buy something that you may be fooled in, this is haram. If I deliberately transgress and do something that is wrong to make you buy something or to fool you into buying something, this is wrong. And if I get an increase over what is known as riba, etc., and the types of riba, this again is not permissible. Now, why would the Prophet ﷺ forbid such transactions? If you go back to the ayah where Allah Azza wa Jal forbids intoxications, gambling, Allah tells us that Allah made them forbidden because shaitan wants to throw the enmity in your hearts against one another and wants to deflect you or redirect you away from remembering Allah and from salah. Allah Azza wa Jal forbade intoxications and forbade gambling. Now, does gambling have benefits to people? Definitely it has. Allah mentioned in the Quran, and they ask you about intoxications and gambling. Say that there is benefit in them and a lot of harm, and the harm overweighs the benefits. Gambling, there are lots of benefits in gambling. When you win, there is millions of benefits. So there are benefits in it, yet the haram far exceeds the benefit, and that is why Allah prohibited that altogether. We have a short break, stay tuned, and inshallah we'll be right back. Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. Now we open the floor for questions if you have questions, so we begin from the right.
While buying shares,
Buying shares, okay.
shares on the internet, online, I've got the option to buy the shares by setting a limit to the price. Suppose the price at the moment is 100 rupees. I've got option to buy it at 90 rupees. So I set the option limit of 90 and just leave it aside. At the end of the day, I get the price at 90 and the share is mine. So is that...
What about if you don't get the 90? What happens?
The order goes off.
But you will lose something.
No way. That means money is in my account. The order doesn't go away, but it comes to 90, I get the stock in my name.
Okay. The brother is asking about shares buying, and this is only for those who are rich. Poor people like you and me don't know about buying shares, but the Sheikh, mashallah, apparently deals in shares and exchange market. This is an option, he says, that in the beginning of the day, I buy shares and I put an option of 90. And during the day, they will, of course, take the 90 and block it from my account. If the shares go beyond 90, like 85, immediately they will buy it and give it to me. If not, at the end of the day, the money will be sent back to me. On the surface, this is okay. This is like bidding, no problem. But I believe that most of the non-Islamic share markets do not work like this. They either tell you that you have 10,000 in your bank account. We'll give you another 10,000 from us as a loan, and you have this option, and you play. If you make profit, we will take a percentage, sharing the profit with you. But if you do not make a profit and you lose, we will take from your 10,000 to us. This is riba. Secondly, most of the share exchange in the stock market is haram to deal with, because you must not buy shares of companies that deal in riba. For example, a company that sells halal product, but they're financing all of their activities through riba. 90% of their income and financing is from riba. This is forbidden for you to participate, because you'll be a partner. When you buy shares, you are a partner in that company. You cannot buy shares that are for companies that sell haram, companies that deal in tobacco, companies that deal in arms and selling weapons to kill the Muslims, etc. This is not permissible. Companies that deals in intoxications, not permissible. Companies that are financial companies, banks or financial institutions, you know that they borrow and lend in riba. So all of this is forbidden, and it's very critical and dangerous. You will find 1 in 1,000 that the company you can buy shares in, and Allah knows best. Yes, brother. There. Yes.
My question to you is, how much profit person should be made by the seller on a particular product?
Okay, that's a very good question. Does Islam limit the profit you make? And the answer is no. As long as you are not the only sole provider. For example, I'm in a country or in a city. I'm the only one who sells rice. So I buy a kilogram of rice for this much, and I multiply it by 100, and I sell it to the people. Islam says this is forbidden, and the Muslim ruler has to take what I have and organize it and sell it in a way that the people would benefit and I would not lose. But if I am selling cars, and there are 10 other companies that sell cars, I buy the car for this much and I put double the price or triple the price, no problem. Because I am not harming people. Ya akhi, you're harming me. I want to buy your car from your shop, but you're asking for too much. There are other 9 companies that you can buy from, cheaper. Go there. There is no problem in it. So one has to be fair. It's an open market, but at the same time, a Muslim should not be very greedy and wanting just to make money, make money. Islam is not about making money. Islam about being grateful to Allah, making money and spending money through zakat, through charity, through good deeds as well. Yes, brother. The younger one.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
Extended warranty, can we sell it?
Okay. The brother is asking about extended warranty. What is extended warranty? You buy a product and they tell you, we give you 2 years warranty on that. Is this permissible to utilize within the 2 years? My product has some malfunction in it and I have to take it to them. They fix it, change spare parts, no problem. They're the one who offered the 2 years warranty. But then they come and say, listen, if you buy a 3rd year, you give us 150, for example, or 200 euros, and we give you a 3rd year of warranty. Is this extended warranty, the 3rd year, halal or haram? It is haram. Why? Because you're paying $150 or euros, for example, for a service that you may get and you may not get. It's like insurance. Insurance in Islam is haram. Why? I pay $1,000 to insure my car against any kind of damages. A whole year passes and I have no accidents. What happens to the $1,000? Bye-bye. It's gone. But what happens if I make an accident and I'm liable to pay $200,000? The company pays it all, have no problem. $1 million, no problem. So this is gambling. I'm paying a little, either I lose it all or I gain much, much, much more than that. So I hope this answers your question. Yes, brother.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salam.
What's the ruling on commission basis? You know, like before during the lecture you talk about this person dealing, he don't have the ownership of that particular product, that particular car, but he act as an agent to sell it to somebody between 2 parties, being a middleman for the commission.
Being a middleman, as long as the transaction is halal, it is halal. So if someone is looking for a house and this person wants to sell his house, and I go and I make my communication, okay, how much? 1 million, 2 million, they agree on 2 million. How about you bargaining? You agree on buying? I get them together and I get 2.5% commission. This is completely halal. Nothing wrong in that. I come to you and I say, I want to buy a second-hand car. This is my budget, and I'll give you this much amount of commission. You go and look for options, 5, 6 cars. You tell me these are the cars. I like the car, I buy, and I give you your commission. This is completely halal, and there's nothing wrong in that, inshallah. Yes, Abdurrahman. Mike is here.
Yeah, this is regarding the stock market, there's also something called as the commodities market. So it's like a virtual market wherein you buy food grains and various minerals and stuff, wherein you don't actually need it. You're not a seller as such. So in there, they give you certificate that you own it, and this is the amount. And then you sell it for a higher amount. You trade in it, but you don't have possession on it. So is it halal or?
The Prophet ﷺ forbade the selling of grain or food stuff until it is weighed or measured and possessed physically by the owner. So this is an issue of dispute nowadays, because in the past, what's the maximum you're going to buy? A load of 3 camels? Take them. It's with you. Nowadays, big companies deal in tons and ships. So it's an issue of dispute among scholars whether this is still applicable. That is, that you have to possess it. And Allah knows best. The most acceptable opinion would be that you own it through means that cannot be denied. Virtual trading is not like this. And that is why Forex, for example, where every one of you open the internet, gain money, do this, do that, Forex, 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 easy money, and everybody is dealing on it. This is haram. You cannot buy and sell gold unless it is direct, and we will come to talk to this in the field of riba, inshallah. But what I want to say is that virtual trading in such commodities, grain, barley, dates, salt, whatever, you have to physically own it or be certified by a trustworthy company. Because I can have a company and I tell you, yeah, invest, the prices went down, no, prices went up, and I fool 10,000, 100,000 people into such tradings. But, and this is, by the way, found in, unfortunately, in some Islamic banks. You go to them and you say, I want to buy rice. And they tell you this is a certificate, pile number 251. But the same bank has 100 branches in the country. And each branch is selling the 251 pile at the same time, because they know that you're not going to take it. You're actually just buying it to resell it somewhere else and get the cash money. And this is called tawarruq. This is haram. So what is happening virtually, that you are unable to be certain that what you've bought is definitely yours, this is not permissible. If you buy something from Holland, for example, virtually, and I will buy 100 tons of butter, this specification and the transaction is done and they ship it and they send it to you, this is okay. But to buy and sell without actually getting hold of it and not seeing it and not being able to know whether it is correct or not, this is not permissible, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. This is all the time we have. Until we meet next time, fi amanillah, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.